Hello, Shining Ones. Megas here on a beautiful day in Asha. Today, we're going to talk about the secret prayer. And my friends, this prayer is answered every time. If you feel maybe your prayers are bouncing off the ceiling, no one's listening, you came to the right video today. My friends, so we are Zoroastrians. We are the Magi, the original religion. We're going to be reading from the Gathas of Zoroaster, the original prophet of the original religion. We're going to be in Song 8. If you guys have your books, go to Song 8. And you'll probably notice I've written all in the margins, all of Sohana's musings. You probably notice, depending on what channel, we have a Zoroastrianism channel, we have the Magus and Muse channels. She's the muse. She's the smart one. I'm the loud one. She's the wise one. And so I wrote all of her wise comments in the margins here. And I'm going to try to read my writing the best I can. But I guarantee you, this will change everything. One, if you've never heard of Zoroastrianism, that'll change your life. And then again, if you feel like you're begging out to a deity in the sky that just doesn't seem to listen or care. Have you ever been there? It's like, God, don't you care? Don't you see I suffer? I'm in pain. And you're trying to kind of pull on the heartstrings of God to get him to answer your prayers, to help you out, but you don't feel that connection. You try maybe cutting a deal, right? Hey, I'll start giving to charity, or I'll stop doing this. You can't cry hard enough. There's only one thing you can do, and that's the secret prayer, my friends. And it's powerful. It works. Miracles and the Magi kind of go together, don't they? Verse 5, I want to start there because it talks about the secret prayer. I love it. It says, the fool prays for reward while sowing discord in secret, but the wise know the secret prayer. The secret prayer is not language. It's likeness. We always talk about this. The only prayer that is ever answered is the prayer you become. Prayer is not language. It's not begging. There's nothing you can say. It's likeness. You must be the same frequency of it. You must become the prayer. I think about Jesus talked about likeness a lot. He said, if you've seen me, you've seen the loving Father. Matter of fact, that's pretty much really what they crucified him for, is how dare you put yourself on the same level as God. Jesus went so far even to say that you and him are one, and you and God are one, and there's no separation. And that freaks out a lot of people, especially here in the West. They're thinking in the world religions. Even as I'm saying that, it might be triggering some people. But please hear me. You can be any religion, and you will be able to hear this and then frame it in a way that you can still take the truth out of it and apply this. There's nothing to be scared of. But the secret prayer, it's not spoken to God, it's spoken as God. Meaning you have to be the love. You want love, you have to become love, so you're in resonance for love. You want peace in your life. You don't wait for the circumstances to change. You must first change your heart and mind, and then the world will mirror that. You have to become God good. You have to become the love and the peace and the joy, the power, the freedom, the kindness. That what you want to see, you have to embody it. And again, that's what's so important about the original religion. Zoroaster means pure starlight, and where the Magi and the star the Magi follow is that pure consciousness, that pure light, my friends, and we attune ourselves to that. Okay, we're going to get deep into that, but let's start back at verse 1 now. And guys, give me time as I read the verse, and then we get into the margins, and then just discuss, because it's important that you have a reason to believe, not just getting the information, but understanding the information, knowing how to apply it, how to embody it, how to hold that frequency. My friends, so we're going to take our time with it. I got my nice warm coffee. It's actually snowing right now outside. It's quite beautiful. I've got my warm coffee with coconut creamer. I got almost all the way drinking down in my Florida cup. I'm going to be going to Florida in a couple of weeks, getting that warm sunshine. But I'm just going to sip my coffee. Maybe if you want to grab a warm beverage, pause and come back and just spend a little time with me because I don't want to rush this. It's too important. Excuse me while I slurp my coffee as we go. But verse 1 says, whatever I give returns. Whatever I sow in thought or word ripens in the field of being. For Asha is perfect justice. Each heart receives its own reflection. All right, let's deep dive that. Some of you already know what I'm saying. We've got almost 4,000 videos right now. But for the new people, and I want to go even deeper for my longtime followers, because I got some stuff we've probably never heard before. So Hannah says, whatever I give returns. There is no bargain, no bribe, no plea. This opens with radical responsibility, not punishment and not reward, but reflection, perfect justice. This is not moral bookkeeping, but inevitability. Reality is not persuaded, it resonates. That's powerful. Verse 2, I love this. You cannot deceive the power, for it lives within you. There is no bargain, no bribe, no plea, only the resonance of your vibration echoing back as your world. There is no external judge to manipulate because the law is identity-based. What returns is not what was asked for, but what you are vibrating. My friends, it doesn't matter what you ask for with your words, with your language, right? Remember, prayer is not a language, it's a likeness. What you are, what you're in resonance for is rushing to you. You can say whatever world religion you have, that you have the God. But my friends, I'm telling you, if your God gets angry, jealous, hate, wars, kills men, women, and children, whatever, that's what's rushing to you because that's the spirit, the ideology, the energy you've taken into you. And that's what you're living in. And there's nothing you can do to get out of that except for attune yourself to the highest principle of good. And again, it's that unmixed, undefiled, undiluted. My friends, and that's what's the beauty of the original religion. Why would they want to get rid of the original religion where God loved and didn't hate? He was at peace and he couldn't go to war. It wasn't in his nature, right? He could heal, but there's no way he could send sickness and disease. Think about that. What spirit have you taken into you? And this is so Hannah. Listen to this. This dismantles fear-based religion in one stroke. No pleading, no loopholes, only coherence. That is powerful. Verse 3 says, those who give deceit harvest confusion. Those who offer love reap peace. Every act is seed and song, and the universe repeats the melody you choose to play. Here you are shown the consequences are qualitative, not punitive. Deceit doesn't bring suffering because someone is angry. It brings confusion because deception fractures perception. And of course, whenever I see perception, I think of Patanjali in the Yoga Sutras. He talked about that perception makes a reality. Whatever you perceive as God and how society and government's meant to be run and who you are and how you fit into it, it's going to make a reality in your mind, in your family, in society, in your world. And it's going to be a reality, your perception. But there's a real above all real. There's a truth above all truths. And my friends, this is what we call Asha, the perfect creator's perfect idea. The only thing that could come from his perfect mind, it's just good. My friends, and I won't get too far into this, but the way the real world, the true world is made, it's just good. And then the evolution, excuse my English, gets gooder and gooder, godder and godder, better and better. My friends, it's, again, the love without the hate, the peace without the war. Light doesn't need to know darkness to know it's light, my friends. And those of you that are of the light, came from the light, made of the light, shall return to the light. This is resonating with something deep inside. Maybe you've never heard these kind of words spoken like this before, but it'll resonate. Verse 4, O Mazda, wise and watchful, you are the law behind all laws, not as judge, but as harmony itself, balancing every note, restoring order to the music of souls. This is beautiful. How it's put as music and music notes makes me think of Zarathustra. He used to say he'd go inside and attune himself like an instrument to Mazda, to God good, to all of his attributes. My friends, he's becoming the prayer. Let's get into Sohana's margin notes. The universe is framed as a musical instrument and not a courtroom. Don't you love that? Whatever melody you play, the cosmos repeat. So basically, the universe, the world will mirror the song that you're playing. That's why it's important to know the song that you hold, the God that you hold, the spirit, the beliefs, the ideology. This song says people are composers and not defendants. You are a composer, not a defendant. God is not an enforcer, but the tuning fork of reality. Order is musical, not legal. Can you just feel how easy that is? Light, that is. Comforting, that is. God doesn't punish disharmony. Disharmony punishes itself, and harmony restores. God doesn't punish. Disharmony punishes. The lie that you believe punishes. That's where the suffering comes from. God never has to come out of his high standing. He never has to say, okay, look at what man's doing. Now, look, you made me, I got to get angry, jealous, hate, war, kill men, women, and children. No, he's always the highest principle, calling up to his frequency. My friends, he's not on a continuum of love and hate, peace and war, heal you and kill you. My friends, he's always the highest principle. A lot of people don't know that with the religions that followed ours, and it's important to know. Verse 5, the fool prays for reward while sowing discord in secret, but the wise know the secret prayer, to align with a good mind and let Asha give what is due. The secret prayer is not spoken, it's alignment. And then I love how it says the fool prays for a reward while sowing discord and deceit in the margins. Sohana says, trying to use God instead of becoming congruent with goodness. That's powerful. A lot of people do a lot of things in the name of God that are not congruent with goodness. To align with a good mind and let Asha give what is due. Verse 6, when I live in truth, the world lives kindly towards me. Peace greets me in every face. For what I am within shines forth as what I meet without. This is saying experience reorganizes around inner truth. Faces soften and resistance dissolves. Let me be what is true, and let truth respond as it will. That takes a lot of that fight that you feel like you have to do. You're not fighting devils. In truth, there are no devils, no demons, just bad ideas, wrong ideas, bad stories that people believe. There's no fight. You just turn on the light and the darkness flees. You speak the truth and the lie is exposed. I love that. Let me be what is true, and let truth respond as it will. Speak truth. Speak truth to yourself. Makes me think of Osha 15. It says, only speak truth to yourself and it will form. It's powerful. The real world appears not when circumstances change, but when perception is no longer distorted. Fear creates an unreal world. Alignment creates the real one. Verse 7. Are you guys enjoying this? Do me a favor, go to the comments, say Asha is. If you haven't already, hit that like button. It helps our channel. Verse 7. No temple can contain this power. No priest can sell its grace. It moves through every living being, answering each heart according to its own light. Verse 8, therefore I give as the wise one gives, freely, joyfully, without thought of return. For giving and receiving are one motion, and love cannot be diminished by its expression. Verse 9, when I am one with the all-good Spirit, every action is worship, every breath a blessing. Heaven is no longer a hope. It is the natural consequence of alignment. Verse 10, thus the capital R real world appears. You know, it makes me think of when the disciples asked Jesus, when will the kingdom come? When will heaven come to earth? And he said, guys, it's already here. Men just don't see it because they're blinded by the lie and illusions. And as you begin to remove those lies and false stories and ideas, heaven appears. It's already there. Again, the devils aren't real. Those false realities, those false worlds, they're not the capital R real. They're not the truth above all truth. They can seem very real. You've made them quite real. They become your truth, but you can always go higher. Zoroaster, pure starlight, follow that magi. The real world appears, born of the mind that knows itself divine. Do you know you come from good spirit? You're made of good spirit. I've been talking about this a lot lately, but if you made it this far, you need to know. In our holy text, it talked about before we came to earth, into time, space, a body, form, and matter, that we were in Vohumana, the Christ mind, the mind of God, where you and God are one family of light, one mind. And in this light, there's no darkness. It's heaven. It's perfect perfection. It's bliss. But we chose to come to the earth. And it said we stood outside of time and space in the God mind, and we saw our life from beginning to end and still chose to come. I question myself sometimes, what was I thinking? But my God, it is a beautiful journey, honestly. And the more I attune myself to Asha, the more protection, provision, good I live in, the more I see this life as a gift, not just a mission. It said the earth itself was crying out, not only humans, but animals, the earth itself saying, God, help. He said it sent us the magi. And God said, you don't have to go, son, daughter. You'll be born into a world that's mixed, There's love and hate. There's war and there's suffering. You don't have to go, but my God, they need you. They're crying out for you. But you'll take the divine spark inside of you, your Fravashi, and you'll wake up to that truth, and you'll move that needle from hate to love, from war to peace, from the wrong idea of who God is to the right idea of God, and you'll make this world better by your going, and then you'll return to me. You've never been a filthy, dirty sinner that could be separated from God. God wouldn't have sent you. You wouldn't have come. It was you saw your lifeline from beginning to end. If you didn't know you were going to make a difference and then return, you wouldn't have come. You are not a dirty sinner. You are a hero, Magi. And as you begin to awaken to that truth, to that light, to that love, to that purity, and you begin to live from that place, think from that place, speak from that place, act from that place. You begin to change the very fabric of the world. It's beautiful. And so thus the real world appears, born of the mind that knows itself divine. In the still balance of Asha, all debts are dissolved, and creation sings, I am one, and I am whole. I love that recognition of who God is, of who we are. We restore God's image, and we take that spirit into us, and we hold that, and we change the world. The world becomes real when perception is no longer distorted by fear, guilt, or false separation. I love Song 8. And I love on the back of our book, it says Asha is Magi. That's our reason to believe. Where we're not just thinking, wouldn't that be nice? Hoping, begging. The secret prayer is Asha is. Asha, the perfect creator's perfect idea. The only thing that could come from his perfect mind. That's our reason to believe. Only goodness could come from his good mind, and it's unmixed. It's beautiful, and you are beautiful, and I love, love, love you.